Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURUL Jazmina binti ROSMADI from J4 ECM367. I will present about the types of PPE and hazards at construction site. What is PPE? PPE is personal protective equipment, refers to the safety equipment that are worn by the construction workers in order to provide protection on site against hazard and safety risk. Since the construction site has high numbers of possible accident occurs, the use of PPE is important as it can minimize the injuries and reduce the exposure of risk. PPE can be categorized into several types such as for body protection, eye protection, skin protection, and hearing protection. It is important to ensure the wearer uses the right PPE that's suitable for the condition at site. Moreover, the wearer needs to make sure the PPE is fit perfectly. If the PPE does not fit properly, it can either be safely covered or exposed to the dangerous. Furthermore, the PPE must follow the specific OSHA standard for general industry, maritime, and construction. So this is 10 types of personal protective equipments. First, safety helmet or hard hats. Hard hats will protect the wearer from head injuries such as being knocked on the head. Hard hats must be shock resistant, water resistant, penetration, and slow burning. Hard hats come in several different categories and classes to address certain hazards. For Class A is to protect against impact, penetration, and protection from electrical hazard. For Class B, same with Class A, but it can protect from highest level of electrical hazard. And for Class C, protect from some impacts, but cannot protect from electrical hazard. Other than that, hard hats come in different color code which signify different roles. For color white is for site manager, foreman, engineer or supervisor. Yellow for general laborers. Blue for carpenter or technical operation and electrician. For green for safety inspector or probationary staff. Red color for firefighter such as bomba. Brown color for welders or workers with high heat application, and grey color for site visitors. Second is safety boots. Safety boots are one of the most important elements of PPE. Constructions and industrial sites are hazardous workplaces, posing high risk of foot injuries. Safety boots help the workers to avoid electrical shock and avoid foot injuries when heavy objects fall. Also avoid the foot injury from stepping on nail and sharp objects. Workers can protect themselves from falls, trips, and slips. There are many types of safety boots. Examples of safety boots are electrical hazard boots and steel toe boots. Third is gloves. Gloves will protect employees' hands from the skin damage caused by cuts, chemical and thermal burns and fractures. Gloves should be snug fit and free of rips. Always replace the glove once they are damaged. There are many types of gloves for different works, such as leather glove, rubber glove, cotton, and fabric glove. Next is respiratory. A respiratory is a protective mask or hood that allows the wearer to breathe the clean air. There are many types of respiratory, so choose the appropriate mask for the jobs. Before using respiratory, wearers should be trained how to properly use it. Frequently change the filter and it must firmly fit to the face. Next is goggles. Goggles is a protective eyewear. It is important to protect the eyes as it are at risk of injury from chemical and flying objects. Cutting, welding, and concreting are examples of jobs that expose the eyes to risk. Goggles should be fitted to the cheek and forehead. 6 is face shield. Face shield protect the whole face from hazards. Face shields consist of a visor, a lightweight plastic, and suspension system that attach the shield to the wearer. Face shield usually worn on top of the goggles to prevent the inhalation of toxic gases. 7 is chuck pants. Chuck pants, also known as chainsaw pants, is one of the protective clothing to protect the worker's body and can also protect the skin. Chuck pants is made from multiple layers of material. The tough outer shell made of tough polyester that endure cut and a PVC coating that resists oil and water. It is also protect the lower leg from the heat hazard such as welding spark. In addition, it also protect anyone who operating the chainsaw from getting hit at the leg. Next, it is high visibility vest. The high visibility vest is a clothing designed to make the wearer more visible. This is used for heavy construction work and highway to avoid getting hit by machine operator or motorcyclists. The vest is composed primarily of a high-quality fluorescent fabric and retro-reflective tape. The fluorescent fabric is used to make the wearer more visible in daylight hours. Meanwhile, the retro-reflective tape make the wearer more visible at night. The retro-reflective tapes also can reflect the lights. Next is number 9, which is safety harness. Safety harness is a fall protection equipment. A safety harness prevents the wearer from falling from a high-rise building construction and from ladders when doing the high distance works. By wearing harness, it will reduce the risk of falling. The harness allows the wearer to attach themselves to a stationary building, so the workers will not fall easily. And the last one is ear muff. Ear muff is a hearing protection device. A muff is used to protect workers from exposure of excessive noise due to the loud tools and machinery operating, which can lead to irreparable hearing damage and increased stress. Ear muff is usually be worn by with the ear plug. Next, let's see the examples of hazard at construction site. Hazard at construction number 1 is falling from height. From the pictures, we can see that the workers fell from the steps or ladders and injured himself. It can cause the leg sprain and hurt the knees. The PPE recommended or required for this hazard is safety harness. Safety harness will reduce the risk of falling, since the safety harness let the wearer to attach themselves to the stationary object such as the ladder or the stairs. Next, hazard at construction number 2. The second example of hazard at construction sites is falling object from height. The objects may be bricks or steels or even woods. The object could knock the head or foot of other workers at below. It can cause serious injuries such as bleeding. The personal protective equipment (PPE) should wear are safety hard hats or safety helmet and safety boots. These two PPE can resist shock. The last one of hazard at construction number 3 is exposure to fume and gases. Undertaking the welding activity will expose the worker to fume gases, including nitrogen oxides and carbon monoxide, which can easily penetrate to the lungs. This can cause some illness such as lung cancer and lung irritation. It is recommended to wear face shield or respirators. Respirators protect from breathing hazardous gases. As for the conclusion, overall, there is a long list of personal protective equipment (PPE) for construction workers, but some of the key items include hard hats, safety boots, goggles, safety harness, face shield, glove, respirators, work span, reflective vest, and earmuffs. PPE is very important for the construction workers as it helps to reduce the individual workers' exposure to the hazards. A lot of hazards can occur at construction site, including the 3 examples stated above. To use the PPE, workers should be well trained and know how to use each of the PPE properly. Those personal protective equipment (PPE) also need to be well maintained. So that's all from me. Thank you.